doesn't always work. So, anyway, today we're talking about perimeter. You guys are at least somewhat familiar with perimeter because I know we've talked about it before. Perimeter, how would you define perimeter? What is it? If I said, what's the perimeter of that rectangle? What are we talking about here?
The length and the width.
Well, I find the length is, looks like 4 and the width is 2. Did I just find the perimeter?
No.
No. So it's a little bit more than that. It's using those things. What do I have to do?
To multiply the length and the width.
So you got really lucky because that works this time, but it won't always work. Multiplying the length times the width will always get me the area.
Oh, yeah.
Oh no, it doesn't work this time either. Perimeter is something different. What is it?
But you have to add them?
So 6? Is that the perimeter?
No.
Keep going then. If you know, what is it? Yeah. Mac.
2 plus 4 plus 4 plus 2.
So do them again? Sure. Because really, perimeter is the distance around the outside. So 2 plus 4 plus 2 plus 4. All the way around is the perimeter. Now, we don't have to have a rectangle in order to find the perimeter. If I told you, let's go outside and we're going to walk the perimeter of our building, that means we're going to walk around the outside of our building, right? Which isn't a rectangle. Kind of, we got odd shapes. We could find the perimeter of, you know, some kind of goofy shape like this. What's the perimeter of that? Well, it's this side plus this side plus this plus this plus this plus that length plus that one plus that one plus that one. Okay? We're going to start with rectangles because they're a little bit easier to understand. Because we know these two sides are always going to be the same. So even though it's not listed, this has got to be 4 centimeters. And these two sides are the same. So even though this is 2, that's also got to be 2. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right, so let's take a look at some of these other rectangles down below. This side is 3, this side is 8. What does that tell you about the other two sides of the rectangle? Destiny.
There's 8.
Yeah, this one's 3 feet. I should probably get in the habit of doing that too. 8 feet. How does that help me find the perimeter? What am I going to add up to find the perimeter of that rectangle? Mac?
The numbers.
Yeah, which ones?
The ones around it.
Yeah, which are?
3
Yeah,
and 8.
and?
8 and 3.
8 and 3. 3 and 8 and 8 and 3. Some people like to group these in different ways. They like to say, well, I've got 3 and 8 is 11, and 3 and 8 is 11, so I've got really 2 groups of 11, and that's fine. Some people like to say, well, I've got a group of 8 and 8 that's 16, and another double, 3 and 3 is 6, so they add that. It doesn't really matter which way you add them. For a rectangle, you're just going to add 4 sides. Okay? Yeah?
Last year, I used to mark it like, once I add them, I do like 22 square feet with like a S and a dot square. I mean, feet.
When we talk about square feet, you're talking about area. Those are 2 different things. They kind of go together. Okay, so the perimeter that we're talking about now is this plus this plus this plus this. It's the distance around the outside. When we talk about area, we're going to talk about how many little squares could we draw to take up space on the inside. Okay, so all that yellow space is the area. That's what we talk about in square inches or square feet. Okay? So just make sure we're not confusing those 2 things. They are separate. They kind of go together because we're both working with shapes. But right now, we're just concerned with the outside of the shape. All right, so now let's go to this one. Let's say this is a, does it look like a square? Does it? Okay, I thought it looked kind of stretched out. Let's pretend it's a square, even if it doesn't look like it. If that's one side is 10 and it's a square, what do you know about the other sides? Yeah. They have to be 10. So if that one's 10 inches, guess what? This is 10 inches. This is 10 inches. This is 10 inches. What's the perimeter? What's the distance around the outside of that shape? Claire?
40 inches.
40. Because we had 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Right? All right, we're going to pause right there because it's time for lunch, and then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about what we call regular polygons. We'll take a break for now, though.